everyone. I'm Father Ron from Sacred Heart Church. I'm here with Tonita Lopez today. And we would like to just have a conversation around our own self-care. Tonita's a mental health counselor, and she has some wonderful input about taking care of ourselves during these COVID days. So Tonita, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You know, it's really important that, especially in these days of flux, of uncertainty, to take care of our mental health.
Absolutely.
And how do we, what are some of the core things that we need to do during this time, do you think?
I think what I have been reviewing with all my clients is the foundational pieces of self-care, right? So making sure that you sleep enough, that you're eating a healthy diet, that you're getting exercise, that you do have social interaction, even if it is physically distanced. I think that those pieces are foundational pieces that are easy to overlook or to push aside, especially when something big is happening. But those are really the core pieces to taking care of yourself and your mental health.
It really is important. It is all those simple things. I mean, like diet and exercise, which of course we could all do better on that on a normal time.
Yeah.
But especially when we're so isolated.
Absolutely.
You know.
And I think oftentimes clients come to me expecting these big, grand changes when it really is the first piece is going back to the basics, right? Going back to those small things that we do control that can add up to really profound changes and profound upkeep of our mental health.
And what about families, like parents who, are so stressed with, kids at home and trying to make everything work. They're probably working at home, a lot of folks. Any ideas about family life?
How to maintain family life, or
yeah, and what to do during this time. How to maintain a steady mental health for ourselves and for our family as well.
I think one, it's modeling those behaviors for our family, right? Modeling them for our children and helping them engage in those things like the diet and the exercise and getting outside and getting fresh air. So it's modeling it for them by doing it for ourselves, but also providing opportunities for the whole family to engage in those things.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's really, I'm sure you have a lot to say about this too, about making sure that we are healthy first, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like putting on
The oxygen mask.
The oxygen mask,
Yeah.
right. So explain to us about why, especially as parents, that it's really, really important, first of all, to take care of ourselves.
I think most parents are so outwardly focused, right, in taking care of their children that it is easy if you don't make that a priority that it'll never happen, right? In the daily care of having children and raising children, it's easy to overlook those little things or to minimize them, right? Sometimes we think that we don't need them. Other people do, but we don't need those things.
Right. And then we become angry and bitter and resentful. And all those things, right? Yeah. And sometimes we don't even know that we're doing that.
No, but our family does.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And what about some of the folks who are more isolated at this time? What can you say something about how they can keep track, really, of their mental health and
those good habits?
And those good habits, yeah.
I think for a lot of people, it's using the tools that we have in front of us all the time, right? A lot of us are sitting in front of computers all day, so I will work with clients to actually physically put those good habits in their computer in their schedule, right? Or to have an alarm that goes off on their phone that reminds them to get up and stretch, or that reminds them that it's lunchtime, right? And sometimes it is having maybe an accountability partner and a family member that you call regularly or Skype with and you check in on each other, right? A family member or a friend that you're checking in on those things.
Yeah, that's really good.
That you're both doing it, right?
Yeah. And then, of course, there are so many folks, especially a lot of our older folks, who are just completely alone. And, I was really thinking about this the other day, that, how many folks during these months have not had the experience of human touch.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, no one has touched them in months. Any ideas about that kind of aloneness?
I think it's a profound loneliness, right?
Yeah.
And so to make an effort as family members, as parishioners, to be reaching out to those people, right? To be calling them, to maybe even having a long distance visit, perhaps. I know my mom is one of those people. She lives alone, and she's had a lot of family members that will go visit her and sit in the field, right? She lives on a farm, and they sit in a field very far removed from each other with masks and still have conversations in person at like 20 feet away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good.
And not all of us have that in the city. She lives on a farm.
Yeah.
Right? But I think to be intentional about checking in on those people and having conversations with them, right? And also encouraging them and checking on, are they doing the things for themselves that they need to do? Do they need things done for them, like groceries or medical pickup?
Right. Yeah, those things are really good. And maybe we could have more information below this video of numbers to call, crisis lines or things like that, that we could help provide more information for
Absolutely.
people.
There are local numbers and national numbers that I absolutely can provide for you.
Great,
Yep.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good week. Thank you.